Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Keegan Murray is a versatile wing who would be a great addition to the Warriors if he can convince the Sacramento Kings to trade Keegan Murray for Jonathan Kuminga. The Kings want the young Kuminga and have offered the Warriors Malik Monk, but the Warriors want Keegan Murray. The reported price is Keegan Murray. As media day and training camp loom for the Golden State Warriors, so does a decision on Jonathan Kuminga. The young power forward has been in a stalemate with his club over his contract for months. The Warriors have reputedly offered him a new contract with big money. Kuminga's concern is the team option in the final year. He wants a player option that will give him more control over his destiny. Kuminga is right to be concerned. His minutes, usage, and development have been all over the map, spending what felt like more time on the bench. If Murray isn't getting time, he wants the option to move on. If it were up to the Kings, that would be happening sooner rather than later. The Kings want Kuminga. Apparently, the Kings' attempts to trade for Kuminga have been shot down by the Warriors, mostly over an included draft pick being protected. It's also quite possible that the Warriors don't want to help out a rival by giving them a good player. On top of that, the Kings' trade offer included Malik Monk, a great sixth man coming off the bench. It's looking like the Warriors want someone else. That person is Keegan Murray, another young power forward whose place on his roster feels tenuous at best. Steve Kerr pissed at Jonathan Kuminga, suggests insider after training camp skip. At the beginning of next week, Steve Kerr and company will return to the Bay Area. The Golden State Warriors 2025-26 campaign will kick off with Media Day. But more importantly, we'll be a step closer to knowing what the future holds for Jonathan Kuminga and Al Horford. Yes, the ongoing saga is far from over. But with training camp and the preseason ahead, surely, the front office has a lot more to worry about. Especially a championship-winning season, because that's what Stephen Curry and Draymond Green are aiming for. But here's the thing, the current uncertainty does not amuse the Warriors head coach. Josh Allen talks Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, Steve Young, and other QB comparisons. Because what do you mean, they're unable to trade for players because of the Kuminga loop? Well, the Dubs and JK have time until October 1st to secure a future or look into a trade. And if the reports are true, then the 22-year-old is most likely going to take the $7.9 million qualifying offer for this season. However, he has seemingly upset Coach Kerr. On the Warriors Plus Minus podcast, insider Tim Kawakami shared, "They use this thing that Steve Kerr doesn't want him, Kuminga. And now you potentially piss off deeper." I think they have to piss off deeper. And I don't think they are Kerr, whatever. We've heard about this promise of minutes and significant minutes to Kerr, and telling him no matter what you're in. You're not telling that at the start. And then we'll see. He's not telling him no matter what. To be fair, last season, Coach Kerr clearly stated that he wanted to coach Kuminga more. He also mentioned that he was an important piece on the team. However, as the season went by, some cracks turned into deeper crevices. Kuminga's scoring first instincts clashed with the Golden State Warriors' rhythm, and it came at the wrong time. Sources say Steve Kerr erupted when Kuminga froze out Stephen Curry against Portland. The fallout was brutal with back-to-back DNPs and whispers of an exit before the playoffs began. Well, now, there may not be an exit, or who knows what's actually cooking. But the truth is, JK wants more. He wants a chance to start every night, finish every night. He wants to be a focal point of the team. That's not a secret. That's something he works for, Kuminga's agent Aaron Turner clarified on 95.7 The Game. Simply put, the forward demands a place in the starting five, which, in the current scenario, with or without Al Horford on the roster, seems somewhat unrealistic. Another interesting turn of events this week came with Jimmy Butler. You see, the veteran forward is reportedly leading a team workout minicamp in San Diego. But then, the story does not end there, because Jonathan Kuminga's future puts everything on the line and ties it all to him. And let's just say, Butler's minicamp also has JK's shadow lurking in silence, but loudly. Jonathan Kuminga gave a new twist to Jimmy Butler's training camp. The Warriors are shifting into gear with training camp on the horizon and preseason fast approaching. Before returning to the Bay, the squad is gathering in San Diego to get an early start on building chemistry. According to Shams Charania of ESPN, Jimmy Butler has taken the reins, organizing a mini-camp workout for the team. The mini-camp expects nearly everyone on the roster to be present for the sessions. However, the situation surrounding Jonathan Kuminga adds an unmistakable twist. His unresolved contract standoff has dragged into the offseason, and now it is keeping him away from Butler's mini-camp. Charania reports that Kuminga will be the lone Warrior missing from the San Diego gathering. The absence looms larger than it looks, raising questions about trust, timing, and whether this gap foreshadows deeper issues ahead of the new season. The Warriors' drama is suddenly hotter than San Diego's sun. Training camp, media day, and even Butler's mini-camp all orbit around one name, Jonathan Kuminga. His hunger for a starring role collides with Steve Kerr's patience, Curry's chase, and the front office's deadlines. Every move feels louder, every absence heavier. And as the season inches closer, the saga refuses to fade quietly. Jonathan Kuminga reportedly skips Jimmy Butler 3-led Warriors workouts. Training camp is still a week away, which means the Golden State Warriors are unable to hold any team-run events. Steve Kerr is surely meeting with his assistant coaches to game plan the upcoming season and the practices that will soon take place, but he can't actually run those practices. Not until camp begins. But that doesn't keep players from practicing together. League rules prohibit teams from sanctioning practices in the offseason, but players are free to play basketball all they want. And if they just so happen to be playing basketball with other professional basketball players employed by the same team that they're on, well, that's just beneficial to everyone. Those sort of player-led team-wide workouts have become increasingly popular in recent years. And in the latest bit of, arguably manufactured, drama surrounding Jonathan Kuminga, we now know that he didn't participate in the Warriors' iteration. According to ESPN's Shams Charania, Jimmy Butler III is taking on a leadership role in his first full season with the team, and organized a team minicamp in San Diego this week. According to Charania, the only player on the potential Warriors roster that isn't there is restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. Depending on your viewpoint, this is a big deal or absolutely nothing at all. It could be that Kuminga, who will have to make a decision on the qualifying offer in the next week, is prioritizing time with his agent and the Warriors brass, as they try to negotiate a deal. It's possible that he wants to avoid a setting where he could potentially injure himself and tank his value before signing a contract, and is instead sticking to individual workouts. It could even be that he doesn't want to be a distraction to his teammates. Then again, it might be something that Butler, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green don't take kindly to. While Kuminga is generally liked and respected in Golden State's locker room, that can quickly fade if his actions are perceived as putting himself over the team, especially given that the Warriors' leaders are Curry, who was dramatically underpaid in his first post-rookie contract deal, and Green, who took a discount on his last contract to facilitate team building. While we don't know how that leadership triumvirate, or the coaching staff, views Kuminga's omission from the team-building week in sunny SoCal, it's not worth worrying about whether or not Kuminga will be committed to the team this year. According to multiple reports, he'll show up ready to work as soon as there's a contract resolution, and will not consider holding out or requesting a trade. Kuminga is, obviously, the notable part of this report, but Charania's wording made me think of something else. By listing the players at the minicamp as the potential Warriors roster, was Charania implying that presumptive free agent signings like Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton, Gary Payton II, and Seth Curry are partaking in the practices and scrimmages and team-building exercises? Or is Charania just referring to players on non-guaranteed contracts? Hopefully we find out more details from the unofficial start of training camp. Kuminga reportedly seeking larger role with Golden State Warriors. Jonathan Kuminga's restricted free agency has hamstrung the Golden State Warriors all summer. The franchise is yet to add any new talents to the roster, and as things stand, will head into training camp in September 29 with just 9 players under contract. Mike Dunleavy Jr. and Joe Lacob are waiting to resolve the Kuminga standoff before adding new faces to the rotation. Unfortunately for Golden State, Kuminga appears set to continue his standoff, as he seeks a player option on the final year of his contract. According to his agent, Aaron Turner, who recently spoke on 95.7 The Game, Kuminga is also looking for an increased role within the Warriors' rotation. The Warriors are the organization that drafted him, so of course, he'd love to stay with one team his whole career, Turner said. He wants to be a focal point of a team. He wants a bigger role. That's not really a secret. Is he open to coming back? He's digested it, and he's open-minded to it. Kuminga has struggled to cement himself in Steve Kerr's rotation since being drafted by the Warriors. He can go from a key member of the starting unit to being buried at the end of the bench for stretches of games. As such, Kuminga likely wants some guarantees over his potential role and playing time before committing to another deal with the franchise. The Warriors and Kuminga are still at a standstill in negotiations. The fanbase will undoubtedly want a resolution. However, as things stand, it looks like negotiations between the two sides will continue to drag out, with the October 1st deadline for him to sign his qualifying option fast approaching. Warriors return to trade talks with Kings seeking a win-win deal involving Kuminga. The Golden State Warriors are reportedly pursuing a deal again with the Sacramento Kings, aiming for a win-win scenario for both sides, involving Jonathan Kuminga ahead of the upcoming NBA season. The Golden State Warriors remain stuck in the Jonathan Kuminga saga, as a deal has yet to materialize. However, talks with the Sacramento Kings reportedly resumed as both sides explore options ahead of the upcoming NBA season. According to Warriors insider Monty Poole, if Kuminga signs the qualifying offer, tensions could rise on both sides. The most likely path to mutual satisfaction would be a sign-and-trade, allowing the Warriors to acquire a player more suited to their win-now approach, while giving Kuminga a chance to chase stardom elsewhere. Poole also noted that sign-and-trade options were considered 2 months ago but ultimately shelved. With training camp approaching next week, urgency has prompted the Warriors to revisit those possibilities, and trade conversations are now restarting. The situation puts pressure on both parties, but it could ultimately benefit Kuminga, allowing him to get the deal he wants after months of uncertainty. Meanwhile, the Warriors face mounting pressure to finalize their off-season plans and potential roster moves once the matter is resolved. What's the conversation with the Kings? Since Kuminga has repeatedly stated that he does not see a future with the Warriors, Golden State's front office is reportedly looking to maximize his trade value and has reopened negotiations with the Sacramento Kings. According to Sam Amick, NBA insider for The Athletic, the Warriors had previously closed the door on offers for Kuminga but have now re-engaged. A major sticking point remains Malik Monk. Several obstacles to a deal remain, most notably that the Warriors' interest in Monk appears muted. His contract is a primary concern, with a player option for the 2027-28 season worth $21.5 million that doesn't fit the Warriors' long-term flexibility plans. There are also questions about his fit on the roster, Amick wrote. If they did acquire him, team sources say Golden State would likely try to trade him elsewhere. The problem is that there's no clear timeline for when that would be possible, he added. What's next for the Warriors and Kuminga? Until recently, the Warriors were hesitant to trade Kuminga to the Kings, fearing he could make an all-star leap. Now, differences of opinion have emerged among the front office, players, and ownership as they attempt to reach a resolution with the young forward. Golden State is left with two options: trade Kuminga for a less-than-ideal package or keep him and risk losing him as an unrestricted free agent next summer. The decision will have major implications for the team's immediate competitiveness and long-term plans.